I could say Bella Bella. I collected this vignette in the mid-1950s from a book of short stories by the American writer William Saroyan. I hope that nobody will mind that I've altered the location from America to London, and also that the principal character is drunk. Give him a minute and I think he'll serve to remind many of my generation of a much more innocent and mannered time. "Up to the minute, Charlie, they call me," the young man said. "What do they call you?" "Oh, go away," the girl said. "You're drunk." "Deep drinker, Charlie," the young man said. "That's me. I'm pleased to meet you, Miss He wobbled closer to the girl, waiting for her to tell him who she was. "Who in the world is she?" he was thinking. My, how lovely," his drunkenness said to him. He knew that the girl didn't dislike him. Being drunk, he could tell. In fact, according to his drunkenness, she liked him. He was glad he was drunk, because if he were sober, he wouldn't be talking to her. If, when he'd come staggering to the corner where the buses stopped, he'd been sober, he would have staggered right on, with no more than an inner observation of, my. He had no idea what he was saying, but felt pleased with everything. Himself, the girl, democracy, capital, labour, the church, art, culture, and everything else. The girl drew her coat around her shoulders a little more closely and became unwitheringly aloof. "Cosy?" the young man said. "Yes, thank you," the girl said. "I could say Bella Bella," the young man sang. "Right up to the minute," he said. "I know all the songs, least all the love ones, Miss, what'd you say your name was? Or is, as the case might be." "You're awfully drunk," the girl said. "Perhaps I'd better take you home." The young man became very sober, in a very drunken way. "Never touched a drop in my life," he said, "except for medicinal purposes." "Well," the young lady said, "you must have had a lot of medicine tonight." "It so happens," the young man said, "I had half a bucket. The doctor said half a bucket, so half a bucket it was." Then he remembered what she had said a moment ago, which he hadn't expected her to say, and which for that reason his drunkenness had held over for thorough dwelling upon. Now his drunkenness was eager to get to the bottom of the matter. "What did you say?" he said. "I said you must have had an awful lot," the girl said. "No," the young man said, "I heard that. You said something else." "I said you're awfully drunk," the girl said. "I heard that too," the young man said. "You said something else." "I said perhaps I ought to take you home," the girl said. The young man stepped back a pace and became aghast. "Did you say that?" he said. "Yes, I did," the girl said. "Who's drunk?" the young man said. "You or me?" "Well, I know I'm not," the girl said. "You're sober?" the young man said. "I touch only a drop of it now and then," the girl said. "Usually before supper and never for medicinal purposes." "I could say Bella Bella," the young man sang again. Then he stopped singing and looked at the girl very closely. "My," he said. My. "You're awfully drunk," the girl said. "Oh, lovely," the young man said. The girl's bus came to the corner, and although she knew there wouldn't be another for half an hour, she let it go by. "That was your bus," the young man said. "There'll be another in a little while," the girl said. The young man became deeply touched and completely sober. For a moment he stood looking at the girl, and she began to know that he was sober. The young man saw her become embarrassed and tried to decide what he ought to say, soberly. "I'm sorry," he said, and knew that he should never have said it. "It's all right," said the girl. He knew then that the play was over, and shouldn't be. The girl felt the same way. Why did he have to change all of a sudden and become ordinary, making her ordinary too, spoiling everything, making her offer to escort him home pathetic, instead of light-hearted, carefree? "Well," the young man said, "goodbye." He tried to smile and keep it spontaneous, but he knew that his smile was full of regret and confusion. "Goodbye," the girl said. The young man walked on down the street. He didn't stagger, not even ever so slightly. The girl stood alone on the corner, remembering him singing "I Could Say Bella Bella." She began to feel ridiculous. and as if to end the foolish song, she turned swiftly and began to walk, knowing that her bus would catch up with her long before she was anywhere near home.